Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Wednesday the 18th of November. Well, here on New Zealand Sports Radio on Wednesday the 18th of November. And luckily I have removed Ashwin as he's yawning in the green room. So you can't hear him, but he will be here with our cricket update today. We also have news from the rugby world where we have a change at the top of Sanzar. And also news on the results between France versus Fiji, or the result they're going to use for the table anyway, because the game was cancelled. We'll also have a chat about supercars. We've got some motocross news for you, as well as results from the ATP Tour finals as well. And let's kick off, or let's serve with that one in London. Where in the ATP finals, Dominic Thiemann lost to Rafa Nadal 7-6, 7-6 in that one. So Rafa Nadal now has 2 wins from the round robin, one more game before heading off to the finals. So tomorrow morning, Peters and Venus, which is where our interest is, will take on Melzer and Roger Vasselin. They're 6th seed versus 7th seed there. It's a must-win game for Peters and Venus after they lost their opening game. So with 2 more games of the round robin to go for them. Don't forget, this is your best way to start the day up to speed with all the important sports news, and you can join us at 7 a.m. every morning for the morning sports briefing. You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or you can listen to us on the go. Just download or just search for New Zealand Sports Radio on your favourite podcatcher, be that Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, all of those wonderful places. And I'm going to hand you over now to Ashwin, who's going to take us through our cricket update.
Good morning, Paul, and good morning to all our viewers and listeners on the interweb. The Koalanders have the runs on the board against the Karachi Kings in the PSL final, but will it be enough? The Koalanders batting first in the final have scored 134 for 7, and after a safe start from Tamim Iqbal and Fakhar Zaman, the rest of the batting has failed to kick on, posting a below-par score. In reply, the Kings, despite the loss of some early wickets, are in a comfortable position in the chase and currently on 99 for 2 after 13.6 overs, chasing that 135 target. They're scoring at 7 runs and over, and they require a further 6 runs and over, so they need 36 from 36 balls. They're just doing a refresh. Will it play ball with me? Oh, looks like they're having a bit of a break in the game because it's still 36 balls and 36 runs. So moving along, in the final round of the Plunket Shield before the break for the white ball matches, things got a little bit unpredictable. The matches we expected to see a result in were draws. Otago held out Canterbury for the day as they went down to the last wicket to save the match. Otago making it through to 337 for 9, and that last wicket actually holding on for quite a while. Auckland were looking to set Wellington a target to chase, but that became pretty obvious it wasn't likely, and so both captains agreed to call the game early, and the match was drawn, Wellington getting the first inning points in that game. And in the surprise of the day, Northern Districts set a run chase for Central Districts, which CD took up. But even newly anointed black cap Will Young scoring 110 couldn't help CD to the total, ND bowling CD out for 259 to claim an outright victory there. So as they go to the break, Canterbury sit at top of the table, followed by Northern Districts and Auckland following closely behind on 1 point. 1 point below. And the dollars keep rolling in for the BCCI. The BCCI have named a new shirt sponsor, MPL Sports. Now, MPL Sports is an esports platform and have signed a 3-year deal, which will start with the Tour of Australia and cover the men's, women's, and under-19s teams. And that, Paul, is our cricket news for today.
Thank you, Ashwin. Interesting to see an esports platform getting involved in the sort of in real life or sport there. Esports.
Yeah, well, it follows on from Dream 11, which has sponsored New Zealand cricket over the last few years in a few tournaments, and then stepped in for the IPL tournament, which just finished when they lost their sponsor there. Dream 11, another esports platform there as well.
Interesting. It's obviously esports took a big boost during COVID and lockdown when a lot of traditional sports couldn't happen. So interesting to see the growth there in esports. Moving on to the rugby then, and Brett Impey has announced he will be stepping down as the chairman of SANZAAR. He says it's time for SANZAAR to have an independent chair, and SANZAAR will be putting together a committee to find themselves one of those. So interesting there that SANZAAR will be looking to improve their administration or governance of their competition. Impey said he hoped it would also lead to multiple tier 2 nations joining the organisation, and that SANZAAR had realised that it was going to be solely focusing on the international game, which seems that which is interesting, as that means basically that Super Rugby will come out of SANZAAR's umbrella by the sounds of things, and then look at how to incorporate and help grow the tier 2 countries is what he's suggesting that SANZAAR will be doing going forwards, including talking with European tier 2 nations, Americans, Africa, obviously, and the Asia and Asia Pacific ones as well. So interesting there that that's a change of focus for SANZAAR, and let's be honest, they've never really had a long-term plan for Super Rugby, and we've seen that hasn't worked out. Let's hopefully they can actually have a long-term plan for the international game, and look at it growing. Aaron there joining us live from Auckland says that yet cloudy with patches, otherwise fine up there. And it's fine weather down here in Waihi as well. So it looks like some settled weather for the we've had so far this week, which has been good for the cricket, obviously, and also good for you gardeners as well. The back-to-back losses by the All Blacks has seen them slip to third in the world rankings now. South Africa still top there on 94.2 points, followed by England on 88.42 points, and only a 0.25 gap back to New Zealand, then followed by France, Ireland, Australia, Scotland, Argentina, Wales, and Japan, rounding out that top 10. Over in the Autumn Nations Cup, and Fiji were unable to play their game against France at the weekend due to 5 COVID cases involved with their squad, including Semi Radradra. And because they've said that if a team is primarily responsible for a match not taking place, a 28-0 victory will be awarded to the opposition, is what a statement for the organisers has said. The organisers did add that there was no fault to be attributed to Fiji because of it, but they were responsible, and hence that 28-0 victory. And so they're working with Fiji to try and make sure they can play their remaining fixtures, which include against Italy this weekend, this coming weekend. So we'll have to see whether that game goes ahead, or whether they can actually put together a side, or whether and we'll see how the COVID tests go this week. Moving on then into motorsport, and in motocross, the inaugural SX4 competition that's going to be taking place in Taupo on January the 9th have made a big signing as their first rider. So Cody Cooper, the 9-time NZMX1 champion, has signed up for the event. He also took part in the trial event or the demo event that happened over Labour Weekend at MX Fest. SX4 is 4 riders over 4 laps with 4 corners and 4 obstacles for 2 minutes of fast-packed action. We're looking at having 12 riders in this inaugural event, which will have 15 races over 2 hours. So perfect for TV, and also for fans to come along and be able to watch the whole race in such a compact space as well. Over in supercars, and Will Davidson, whose team had to pull out after their sponsors pulled out due to COVID, has been testing his new car, and he's joining the reigning champions, who Dick Johnson Racing's who he's joining, who have lost their two drivers, Scott McLaughlin, who obviously was the champion, and Fabian Coulthard. So he's landed himself a prime seat for next season. And obviously the Bathurst winner of 2009 and 2016. So a good seat for him to collect. You have now started the day the best way, up to speed with all of the important sports news. Just a quick one this morning. Tomorrow, if I get my car back from mechanics, I hope to be making it across to Hamilton for the Premier hockey, because the men's side kicks off tomorrow. First off, the Tridents versus the Mavericks at 5 p.m. and the Falcons versus the Alpiners at 7 p.m. Free entry to those hockey games over in Hamilton if you're around. So hopefully head over and catch those games tomorrow, and bring you some post-match interviews from that as well. So hope you have a wonderful day, everybody, and you've now started the day the best way, up to speed with all the important sports news.